Humans are a curious species. Since the dawn of civilization, we ask ourselves questions like, who are we? Why are we here? What is the meaning of life? What is my purpose? We looked around, observed and interpreted, even gazed at the stars. We maybe didn't find the answers to our initial questions, but we found values and ideals, and settled for dedicating our time and effort into making the things we value right in every aspect. And that's exactly where I failed miserably, and that has to change. I mean, look at this. Yes, it's a nice pedestrian shopping stretch, but why? Why is it here? Where does it lead up to? Where is the meaning, the purpose? If you have ever looked at aerials of big cities like, for example, the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, you know what I am talking about. Such a street has to lead up to something, telling a story. Hi, my name is Drakken. Welcome back to the 11th episode of my Let's Play series. I was looking around and I was not pleased, because admittedly, this looks ugly. The thing is, we established one of the most awesome industry areas in the last episode that showers me in money, but without dedicating those resources for greatness, it would be not fulfilling, I suppose. You know me, I'm a min-maxer. But min-maxing doesn't end at being organized and super efficient. All this, quote, perfection of beating the game has to serve a higher goal, like aesthetics. But before we get there, I would like to do what we were offered in the last episode, because we were given a 2x2 tile, so let's buy that. I want to buy that one, because this gives us access to this new highway thing. And yeah, maybe we got a little bit overboard here with this service interchange, but whatever, we are going to need our highways anyway. Now also that one, before we can get rid of this abomination that I had to put in here because of the tourist apocalypse, basically flooding our city with those tourist cars, blocking the entire highway because it up until now was the only entry and exit to our city. Not only because we have that thing, I'm not pleased with that either. Oh yeah, and we also have that thing. Yeah. What really bothered me was that thing. This is called the Cathedral of Plentitude. This kind of, in my mind, stands for combining all the different races of our species in a city. Plenty of opinions are required on a topic to have a really good discussion. This kind of represents the value of tolerance, except towards the intolerant or ignorant, freedom of speech, tolerance, all that. This entire building is like a symbol of dearest human values, right? I mean, of course, yeah, every building that is placed next to this, well, it's more than a pedestrian mile, I guess, is probably a prominent building, but this actually, that's a symbol, and that should be here-ish. Alright, let's do it. Okay, done. Nah, I'm just kidding. That place, of course, needs a lot more decoration to stand out. Let's get to my solution, which, by the way, also would work on consoles. I did this entire strip with the modern city center buildings, which are high density, but they don't grow very tall. And that kind of brought me to the idea that we could also do this with the residential area using the European style. Yes, I wish they would look a little bit more modern, but they are high density without this ridiculous gap in height between low and high density residential buildings. But since we are going to have high density zoned here, it is going to attract adults from the outside to live here, which probably are not educated, which is why in those newly zoned districts we have to provide libraries to give them a chance to educate them themselves. They also provide entertainment, so we don't need a park around. It's a pretty big expansion, so let's see it grow. While you are getting the uninterrupted experience, I've been pretty busy in the background, like stop recording, start recording, all that stuff, because I had to take care of other parts of of the city, namely the industry area, by weeding out those industry processing buildings which should not grow here. That's why you get this static view and not a cinematic. Right about now then started the phase where I had to weed out high-rise residential buildings, which I have downloaded from the workshop for the future downtown area. Not only to reduce spoilers, but also because a lower population density is going to hurt us less when we are going to redo old parts of the city in the new style. That's why the population growth also goes into the negative numbers. Let me give you a little sneak peek of how this is going to look like when finished. I know those features have been in the game for quite a while, but right now I'm really happy to have figured out how I can create a more realistically looking city. If you are not into downloading assets from the workshop for whatever reason, then just keep in mind that the commercials with the tourism specialization are growing pretty tall, but towering above them are the offices with the IT cluster specialization. Should you now be eager to find out how I am going to transition out of this style into the high rises, you have to be a bit more patient because that is going to need a few more episodes until we get to the downtown. There will be lots of stuff in between. But be assured, it will all be growables because I'm no plopper. Around this time my off-camera work has become more than I initially anticipated because suddenly the city didn't produce enough power. Yeah, that's the tram's fault. I mean, the entire Snowfall DLC that came along with it. See that temperature thing there? Yeah, I never highly thought of the Snowfall DLC, but you know, we got such sweet materials and it's a tram and it was on sale. So you know, I can't help it, I have to do the calculations. So we're spending 5,993 point something on water and sewage, minus the water pumps and minus the eco sewage treatment plants. We're ending up at 953.84 simoleons for our 11,923 pipes, which when upgraded would increase our upkeep cost by 1,430.75 simoleons. I built another updraft solar tower. But then I noticed that our traffic percentage dropped below 80%. Yeah, I just forgot to set up the junctions, the new ones with the tram lines. Then it dissolved like within a minute. Alright, it's time for a little update on the industry area. I said in the last episode it's going to be an ongoing project. It is morning and suddenly I lose money. So what I figured is we are importing those raw materials. Probably our farms and oil and yada yada, all the zoned industry, the extractors, they're asleep at night. Like, what? I have to think about something how to solve this, but for now I would like to focus more on this area because we have a lot to do here. First thing is I need another rail terminus station kind of, but I wanted to connect it as well to the inner city rail system, and I tried to check out some of those from the creators pack which would fit in this area size wise, but those which I tried out did not allow for actually terminating one rail and then right next to it have another inner city rail platform. So what I did, I was ending up with kind of just putting two of those suburban rail stations right across the street to each other, and then also was ending the monorail in the same area and connecting with passes. Okay, and now we come to the part where I want to place a specific statue as a companion to the cathedral on the other end of the street. Now the statue has an even width footprint and the cathedral has an odd width, which is why it fits perfectly into this pedestrian area, for the pedestrian area also has an odd width. But for the statue I kind of had to set off the grid or the tile grid by half a tile to make the even footprint like also right in the middle face down the pedestrian area towards the cathedral. Why the statue of wells? At first glance it might seem that plentitude requires wells in order to establish. But there's also the symbiosis of when we have plenty of options regarding the approach, we can pick the best choice to create wells. Also it has to be right here, for industrious mindset creates wealth. The founding fathers of the city perceived monetary value as just one facet of wealth. You could be broke, but still be wealthy in other aspects. For example, morals, which they defined as the fine line where an industrious mindset sets itself apart from greed. And they wanted to attract the right people in their city, which is why they dedicated the entire street with both symbols on either end to remind its citizens of those ideals. The idea was that everyone was valuable. And would everyone just live up to their true potential, given the right values from their families as proper guidelines, only then they would be able to contribute to society, pushing humanity as a whole to the next level. Another reason for altering this entire area was that I also wanted to have a kind of suburban district here, a great place to raise kids and such, all small houses, families, community school, the Institute of Creative Arts, the high school, rural, pendant, and then lots of bushes and greens around and all the services which we already had there actually to be used. When doing this, I kind of want to do it right and also make this a lovely place to be. So I had to redo the monorail and the metro stations. They actually got an extra one for the community. Within this entire industrious area, you have still a place where people really like to live. So I think you got an idea of what we are going to aim for. The overhaul, of course, has to continue in the next episode because we are not done yet by far. But now you get a grasp of where we are heading. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Use the word of today in the comments just for fun. It just proves that you are 20 and out elite, and those people also in the 20 and out elite will also recognize you as such. That's it. Bye guys.